let's discuss SA 600 today using the work of another auditor. SA 200 states that when the auditor delegates work to assistants or uses the work performed by other auditors and experts, he will continue to be responsible for forming and expressing his opinion on the financial information. This means that even if the auditor uses the work of some other auditor or like some other auditor who is there auditing the foreign component, then even then he will be responsible for the opinion which he is stating in his auditor's report. However, he can he will be entitled to rely on the work performed by others provided he exercises adequate skill and care and is not aware of any reason to believe that he should not have so relied. For example, there is an auditor against whom some case is pending in the disciplinary committee. Okay, he is using the work of such auditor. A case one could be the principal auditor is not aware of such scenario. Okay, then he is entitled to rely upon such work. Case two is that the principal is aware of the spending against the other auditor, then he should not have relied upon because he has the reasons to believe that he should not have relied because of some non-compliance. Okay, in the case of independent statutory appointment to perform the work on which the auditor has to rely in forming his opinion, such as in the case of work of branch auditors appointed under the Companies Act, the auditor's report should clearly state the fact of such reliance, that we are relying upon someone's auditor's report, that has to be clearly stated. Okay, the purpose of this auditing standards, purpose of SA 600 is to establish standards to be applied in situations where the auditor reporting on the financial information of an entity uses the work of another auditor with respect to the financial information of one or more components included in the financial information of the entity. For example, we have this Reliance, right, which has numerous branches. So every branches cannot be audited by a single auditor who is the auditing the head office, right? That's why Reliance would have appointed multiple branch auditors. The principal auditor, as he has cannot audit the every all the branches, he will rely on the report of the auditors. That's what it is stated, that this standard is to give powers to the principal auditor to rely on the reports of the component auditor, that is branch auditors, provided he exercises due diligence and skill, and then a skill and care while making such a decision, and also he is not aware of any reasons which would have changed his mind that he should not have relied upon such branch auditor's report. Okay, this standard also discusses the principal auditor's responsibility in relation to use of his work of the other auditor. In this standard, the term financial information encompasses financial statement. For this standard, financial information also includes financial statements. This standard does not deal with those instances where two or more auditors are appointed as joint auditors, nor does it deal with the auditor's relationship with his predecessor auditor. What does that mean? Two auditors will be jointly appointed for sharing of responsibility, right? That will be known as joint auditor. That was not covered under this standard. Also, I have to communicate with the predecessor auditor, the auditor who was previously auditing the particular entity, that is known as predecessor auditor. That communications will also be covered under this standard. When the principal auditor concludes the financial statement of a component is immaterial, the procedures outlined in the statement do not apply. When the component itself is immaterial, then these procedures need not apply. Well, okay. Likewise, there are several immaterial components. Okay, but if I consider it all together, then it is material. If I consider all the immaterial entities, then it is material. Then this standard should be applied. Okay, on an individual basis, it is not. Okay, but on consolidated basis, it is material. Then even then, I have to apply this standard. Okay. When the principal auditor uses the work of another auditor, the principal auditor should determine how the work of the other auditor will affect the audit. How his work is going to affect my audit should be well determined. Okay. Till now, I am discussing the term principal auditor, component auditor, other auditor. What does those terms mean? Let's go on to it. Okay. also an ICAI material. Okay, you need not worry. Now, principal auditor. Principal auditor means a auditor who is responsible for reporting on the financial information of an entity when the financial information includes the financial information of one or more components audited by the another auditor. For example, I am the auditor of the consolidated financial statement of Reliance Limited. Okay, I will be known as principal auditor if I have so many other components information which is being included, right? That's why I will be known as principal auditor. The auditor of the consolidated financial statement will be known as principal auditor. For example, that's one example. Okay, now other auditor is an auditor who is responsible for reporting on the financial information of the component included in the financial information audited by the principal auditor. So the consolidated financial statement, right? Those branch auditors will be known as other auditors. Those branch auditors will be known as other auditors. Okay. Now, let's understand the term component that is given here. Component. Component means a division, branch, subsidiary, joint venture, associated enterprise, or other entity whose financial information is included in the financial information audited by the principal auditor. All the financial information which is included in the consolidated financial statement will be known as component. Like for example, branch will be included, division will be included, subsidiary will be included, joint venture will be included, associate will be included, or any other entity whose financial statements is going to be included into the financial information of the reporting enterprise, then that will be known as component. Okay, now moving on to the next one. When the principal auditor uses the work of the another auditor, the principal auditor has to determine how his work is going to affect the audit. We've already discussed this point. Now, moving on to the next one. The question, let's make it as a question. Okay. State the points to be considered before accepting the assignment of the principal auditor as a principal auditor. Okay. This is as a principal auditor. Consideration by an auditor before acceptance as a principal auditor. What are things to be considered? First, the materiality. Okay. Then degree of knowledge. Then risk of material misstatement and the performance of additional procedures. Let's repeat: materiality, degree of knowledge, risk of material misstatement, performance of additional procedures. Let's read it out. The materiality of the portion of the financial information, that is whether the component is material or not. Okay. Then degree of knowledge regarding the business of the components, whether I have the knowledge as to the business of the component. For example, Reliance may have Reliance Trends, Reliance Digital, some other things could be there, right? So whether I have the technical knowledge to order that particular Reliance Digital and so on. Okay. The risk of material misstatement in the financial information of the component audited by the other auditor. What is the ROMM in that component? Okay, that has to be identified and I have to be aware of ROMM. Then the performance of additional procedures are set out in this essay regarding the components audited by the other auditor, resulting in the principal auditor having significant participation in such audit. What are the additional procedures I have to perform with respect as mentioned in the standard that I have to be aware of? Okay, these four things are to be considered by me, and whether I have to check whether I am able to do these procedures, and then only I can accept the position as a principal auditor. Let's repeat: the materiality of the portion of the financial information, degree of knowledge regarding the business of the components, risk of material misstatement and the financial information of the components audited by the other auditor, and the performance of additional procedures as set out in this essay regarding the components audited by another auditor, resulting in the principal auditor having significant participation in such audit. Now, procedures to be followed by the principal auditor. Okay, that is state the procedures to be performed by the principal auditor when using the work of another auditor. What are things I have to consider? First, advise the other auditor regarding his use of his work and report and make significant arrangement for coordination at the planning stage. In the planning stage itself, I have to start coordinating with the other auditor. That is, I have to advise that your report is going to be used for so and so purpose. So make sure you don't make any other mistakes, and I have to start coordinating with them right from the planning stage. This is the point number one. Point number two, advise the other auditor of the significant accounting and auditing and reporting requirements and obtain a representation as to compliance with them. For example, some car fixed assets could be there, right? I have to discuss with them that fixed assets material for this particular entity. So please make sure that all the relevant accounting, auditing, and reporting requirements are being complied into, and also get a written representation from him that so and so have been complied with. Okay, now what are things that the auditor has to advise? Okay, areas requiring special consideration. For example, this company has a lot of inventories, okay, that has to be specially considered, right? Or it has lots and lots of legal cases, and that has to be given special consideration with respect to the provisions and contingent liability amount, right? Those are the areas which require special consideration. And procedure for identification of intercompany transaction that may require disclosure. For example, we have already discussed the related party standards, right? There we have to disclose, even though there is no transaction for a parent and a subsidiary, we have to disclose the nature of relationship and the outstanding balance, right? So that has to be. And similar intercompany be disclosed because it's a related party transaction. And the principal auditor would inform the auditor these are the matters. And then timetable for the completion of audit. What is the expected time to complete this audit within which I have to submit within which I have to receive the other auditor's report. Okay, so that beyond that period I will be able to consolidate all the branch reports and I will be able to deliver the final audit report on the particular date which I have committed into. Okay, now moving on to the next point. Principal auditors to review the written summary of the auditor's procedures. Okay, what are the procedures that are being done by the other auditor? That procedures had to be reviewed by the principal auditor. May also wish to visit. He may also wish to visit the other auditor's place. Okay, and he have to check the nature, timing, and extent of procedures. Depend on the circumstance and engagement and materiality aspect. These are things to check. Whether all the procedures are being done with consideration of the nature, timing, and extent of the procedures, and then whether the materiality has been duly fixed in the order too. Then, nature, timing, and extent of procedures depend on the principal auditor's knowledge of the professional work, competence of the other auditor. I would have been engaged, right, with him, right? So I should check whether he is competent enough, which means, for example, okay, um, such branch or component is located in a foreign country. I have to check, and there is no requirement for a particular chartered account. Only chartered accountants could audit. There is no such requirement. Okay, any person who is, has so and so qualifications can audit. Okay, so I have to check and I have to ensure that the particular person has the professional competence to audit. Okay, because he should have the professional and technical knowledge or expertise to audit the particular area. I should be aware of it, and I should ensure that such compliance is there. Okay, only then I can rely upon his work. Okay, otherwise there will be a reasons that there could be a circumstance that I should not have relied, right? So I will not be relying on such auditor's report. Okay, this this knowledge may have been increased with continuous relationship, because I would have checked this previous assignment. Okay, I could have checked this previous assignment and I have found that it is so good, then it is fine to rely on such report. Okay, if I'm checking on that previous report, I'm finding that there are certain things that have been changed, I could have informed it and then recheck only those areas. Okay, that is also fine. Then the principal auditor should consider the significant findings of the other auditor. Significant findings of the other auditor. What are significant things which have been found out on the component based on the other auditor's report? The principal auditor may consider it appropriate to discuss with the other auditor in the management of the component. He may think to discuss it with the other auditor and also the management of the component or other matters affecting the financial information of the component. He may also decide to application of supplementary that supplemental test of the records or the financial information of the component are if necessary. Okay, see, this happens. Okay, I'm getting the list of significant findings from the other auditor. Okay, I'm going over it. Okay, and then I'm calling for a meeting with the other auditor and the management of the component. Okay, other auditor said some 10 findings. Okay, management discuss these 9 out of 10. Okay. Then I may consider, this principal auditor may consider to have a supplemental test. Supplementary test means for these areas alone, I will recheck. Okay, whether what are the things which are stated by management is correct or other test correct. I will recheck. It is known as supplemental test. Okay. Either for the entire financial statement itself, I can carry on if there is so many disagreements, or for few selected items, I can carry on that. Okay, this may be carried on by the principal auditor itself or the other auditor itself. Okay, that is up to them. Okay, now where the other auditor's report is other than unmodified, which means the other auditor's report is modified. Other than unmodified is negative plus negative, right? So that is known as modified. Okay. The principal auditor should also document how he has dealt with the qualification or adverse remarks contained in the other auditor's report in framing his own report. Okay. Now, he has given some modifications opinion. Okay. I have to check for the entity as a whole whether that qualification is material. If it is material, I have to report and also modify my report, right? If it is not material, I will check and whether I will think and consider whether I need to disclose the fact somewhere in this report, and if possible, I have to disclose the same. Now, at the here is that coordination between the auditor. Okay. Sufficient liaison between the principal and other auditor should be the sufficient liaison mean I should be able to, I have to have sufficient coordination between the principal auditor and the other auditor. The other auditor should also coordinate with the principal auditor. Okay. The principal auditor should advise the other matters, other auditor of any matters having important bearing on the other auditor's work. Okay. While going over any other branch auditor's report, okay, he finds the information which is relevant to this particular branch audit. Okay. Then the principal auditor has to communicate such information to the other auditor on a timely basis. Okay, this is what point means. The principal auditor may require the other auditor to answer a detailed questionnaire. Okay, because he's relying on such work, he has to get some written communication. The principal auditor is going to send a standard questionnaire to all the branch auditors to fill. They have to fill the questions which are being asked. Those questions will be framed by the principal auditor considering the materiality and other aspects. Okay. The other auditor should respond to such questionnaire on a timely basis. He cannot delay till the completion of the end of the principal auditor's report. I will not give such questionnaire. He should not be of such attitude. Okay, he should respond on a timely basis. Now, fourth main area would be reporting consideration. Mention the points to be considered by the principal auditor while reporting. Okay. Principal auditor to express a qualified opinion or disclaimer of opinion in case of limitation on the scope of audit. What does this mean? When the principal auditor concludes, based on his procedures, the work of the other auditor cannot be used, okay, and the principal auditor has not been able to perform sufficient additional procedures regarding the financial information of the component auditor by the other auditor, the principal auditor should express a qualified opinion or a disclaimer of opinion because there is a limitation on the scope of the audit. This means, okay, now that the competent auditor, the branch auditor has given me his report, okay, I am going over it, okay, and I feel that such report cannot be used, okay, and then I'm asking the branch auditor, so I would come and visit your branch and please give me your records, okay. For that also, the other auditor loving me, which means as a principal auditor, I'm not able to perform sufficient additional procedures based on which I could have an evidence which I could rely while giving the opinion, right? So because I don't have the branch auditor's report properly, or I don't have any other additional information on which additional procedures can be performed, because there's a limit scope of audit, I'm going to express a qualified or disclaimer of opinion. Qualified or disclaimer of opinion, because I don't have an information that for which I can rely upon. That's why I'm going to express a qualified or disclaimer of opinion. If the other issues a modified report, in all circumstances, if the other issues or intends to issue a modified auditor's report, the principal auditor should consider whether the subject of modification is of such nature and significance in relation to the financial information of the entity on which the principal auditor is reporting that this requires a modification of the principal auditor's report. As we discussed already, if the other auditor is going to issue a modified report, then I have to check whether the matters which are subject to modification, which are giving the scope for modification, are of such nature and significance. There is such so and such material that I have to consider whether the principal auditor's report have to be modified in respect of that matter. Okay, now the last area here would be the division of responsibility. Write a note on division of responsibility between the principal auditor and the other auditor. When the principal auditor has to base his opinion on the financial information of the entity as a whole, relying upon the statements and reports of other auditors, his report should clearly state the division of responsibility for the financial statement of the entity by indicating the extent to which the financial information of the components audited by the other auditors have been included in the financial information of the entity. Okay, see, which means I have to clearly mention so and so, so many number of branches have been audited by so many other auditors. Okay, I am not auditing, but I am placing reliance on their auditors report. I am continuing to be responsible for their number of division, branches, subsidiary, and other components audited by the other auditor. However, the principal auditor noticed material discrepancies. The same has to be brought to the knowledge of the other auditor. This should be included and incorporated in the audit report. If there is any material discrepancy, that has to be communicated on a timely basis to other auditor, and that fact is also to be brought into the auditor's report. Okay. So let me check whether there is an additional pointer given in the standard. I don't think so, but let me check once. Yeah, that's what. So with this SA 600 gets completed, so wait for other essays also. If you like this video, please do like and subscribe and also share with your friends so that it could reach wider number of audience students. Okay, thank you. Nice day.